operate real close, because from here, I have...
Yeah, you got all this stuff on my face. So here's the deal.
So what happens when we put a kung fu weapon up against a staple one in the Filipino martial arts? Yeah, we're talking the 3-section staff versus some Escrima sticks. Now, which one of the two do you guys think gives the user the upper hand?
Let me think.
What are the pros and cons of using either weapon? And more importantly, are any of the two illegal to possess in your state?
Or country for that matter.
Is that legal?
Yes, sir, it's Sifu Kwazi, and today we'll answer these questions and more. So grab a staff and or staffs, and let's do this. And, oh yeah, go ahead and hit a like on the video. That'd be cool. Thanks. We're out of the park in Burbank, and I finally have my friend Sherlin, who is not only a person that I used to train in Krav Maga with, but also someone who's pretty proficient with the Escrima Sticks. She does knife defense a lot, dog brothers, all that cool kind of stuff, right? So she's a specialist in Eskrima. I love 3-sectional staff, as you guys know, and finally got the opportunity to use both weapons and see what the pros and cons of both weapons are, see if one can verse the other, if I can get an edge on her, she gets an edge on me, etc., etc. So why don't we see what we can do with these things?
Okay.
All right, so let's talk the weapons. Escrima sticks, obviously you got 2 sticks in your hand. What are things that you can easily do with these? What can't you do, Sterling? Go ahead.
Easiest thing is going to be swinging.
Yep.
I mean, I guess in comparison to a 3-section staff, I'm not tangled up. My arms can move independently. My arms can move all over the place. They're not bound to each other by that middle section.
Right, you don't got the middle flail to worry about like I do. Although I got the sticks on the outside too, where I can still swing, I just can't, again, let go of this middle. So I have to either stay in the middle, like use this as a mid-range weapon, or I'm on the outside using this as a longer weapon, or completely using it as like a whip weapon. The only, well, some of the issues with 3-section are the fact that you're not only limited because of the middle flail, but you can't control the recoil as easily, because once you send this out, especially depending on the surface that you're trying to hit, you don't necessarily, it's hard to predict where the recoil will be. Like harder surfaces, you get a little more bounce. Soft surface like grass like this, usually the grass will absorb most of where the stick goes. So that's the deal with that. So yeah, I might get a good strike, but if I miss, say I swing this thing and you happen to be there, and then you come in and whack the crap out of me, right? Because this is not gonna pop, sorry, on grass it's not gonna pop right back. So either I gotta pay attention enough to flip it back to myself, or I get hit and I gotta worry about that wise, defense wise. So just for like beginners or newbies or anything like that who are unaware of like sticks, what are just some quick basics with sticks?
So quick basics with sticks. Generally, I want to have my dominant side forward. It's a little bit opposite of like traditional boxing and all that stuff. So I'm right-handed, right hand tends to be forward. I can switch as need be to do other stuff. But yeah, other than that, simple angles, angle 1, angle 2, you can have like horizontal strikes. There's a little bit of vertical.
Right.
Yeah, I prefer to kind of stab upward versus just like kind of bringing it up. I feel like that's a little bit stronger, but both are options. When it comes to double stick, it's a lot of dexterity compared to single. Single, you can just, you know, do all this stuff, that's fine. Double, you have 2 things to worry about. So it's hard for both offense and defense because you have to defend against 2 different sides that could be coming from either side. And you kind of have to manage 2 different weapons that can be all over the place.
Right, that's the thing. So you got to do lefty and righty, but you try to be proficient with both. Whereas 3-section, since you're working with the whole staff, usually you do have a dominant side. So for me, I'm right dominant as well. So I would usually step out with this side, but I don't want to neglect my my rear side, because I do want to be able to use this. If in fact I lose this first side, I still got the back to go to, and be able to flip, so I have the dexterity as I step in.
Okay, so in terms of like defensive positioning, I mean, there's a few different ones. So there is this basic roof that we have. When you're thinking single stick, yeah, it's protecting my head. There's inside, outside blocks. You can do stuff like towards the ground, like if somebody's coming at your stomach, you know. Other than that, I prefer attack the attack, because
Right.
I'm like that.
Right on.
So basically, my defense is a good offense.
Right on. Okay, I got you. All right, so if I were to transfer this into like, because now we're gonna start doing some technique stuff. If I borrow your stick just for a second, if we go toe to toe and we go just like say single counts, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? But now I'm thinking, again, like you said, your whole idea as you're striking, coming down on the diagonal, right?
Yes.
Straight through versus coming over the top, or?
I mean, all of them are options. I'm not gonna say that there is like any sort of right answer. It depends on what you want to do. When it comes to basics, angle 1, angle 2 diagonal, I'd like that clean 45, that's the basic.
Right.
If you want to get like a little bit more sharp of an angle, like getting a little bit more towards like 1 o'clock position, that's up to you.
Okay.
So,
Got it. Okay.
choices.
Got it, right. So
Sky's the limit.
Singles right here, because if I'm aiming at your head, I'm trying to come at that diagonal and slicing down.
Yes.
Versus, we always get checked on this pushing out, per se, right? This is where people kind of go wrong. Or if they like have the staff too far out and they kind of magic wand it and it gets a little funky.
When it becomes a little bit too much wrist, which this is good for warming up a wrist and getting some dexterity, but it's not
as far as hitting, he still needs. Well, what would your suggestion be? I know you were getting a little nerdy, but I don't want to waste too much time on it. How far up should you choke up on the stick, for lack of a better phrase?
I prefer to leave about an inch or 2 here.
Okay, cool.
When it comes to a longer weapon, you'll see some people do like 31-inch sticks, more of like a krabong sticks. I choke up a little bit more so that like it ends up being like maybe, is that like 5 or 6?
Got it. Okay, cool.
Basically, as much as you can control. It's gonna differ for every person.
Got you. All right. So now if I could try to transfer this over to the idea of using a 3-section staff, if I were to do, let's say, 4 count, let's try
Okay.
it. 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, 4 side, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It seems to be working out okay.
That works out all right. I guess the only thing would be, so that actually works. And again, the beauty of the 3-section is you have 3 different ranges with it. My super long range out here, basically using it like a whip. The mid-range is when I can choke up here using the middle flail, so I can have these 2 flails outside and I can use them and get to them and use them like Escrima sticks. Or if I want to go kind of mid-range, I can use 1 and kind of keep someone at bay, kind of using that long flail and having this out in front of me. So if I did single, can I do single with you this side? Same thing, would work. And I would keep my back flail towards me, so if I ever want to use it offensively, I can change. And now here would be the kind of trick. If I can go one side to the other, can I go lefty, 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 which is harder, but
can you go high-low?
let's see. Flop, flop, flop. Oh, I can do that. So I got two sticks, 2, just so we can try to do regular 6 count first. There we go. So that's basic 6 count. If I try to flip this over and use it with the 3-section, the problem really is that limits with the middle flail. But let's see. So going a little slow.
I mean, if you get your chambers
Yeah, let's see. Let's start from here.
closed, good. You can kind of do it.
Yeah,
It's hard.
it's definitely harder doing 6 count. 2, 3, 4, 1,
There you go.
3, 4, 3.
It doesn't look like it's a very comfortable
That's not
position
really
at all.
That's where the limits are, right? So 6 counter basically is almost like, to me, it's the slower version of doing a flower So basically in martial arts when we do the flowers, 6 count is just hitting all the points of when you're flowering a staff. That's really what 6 count breaks down to. But now you're in 6 count, you're actually showing all the points that you hit at when you're doing all those 6 points, right? So for 3-section staff, for regular staffs, 1 over the top, 1 over the top, back, 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 back. For 3-section staff, I got the flail in the middle, and then I would flail and use the whole staff. And that's pretty much the same thing. But the whole thing was, since I got this big flail, it's harder to break that down and what one can do versus the other. Defense-wise or offense-wise, if you strike, I block. Let's talk about blocks if I come in to try to attack you. Okay. Just a straight overhead attack. If I came in, you would, do a roof. Is that a roof? Yeah. Yeah. So a roof block is boom as I strike down, and you could hit again. Yeah. So roofing, just so people can understand the difference, roof versus umbrella. The difference would be,
if I want to go that way, I can umbrella off.
Right, okay.
Essentially.
So basically it's positioning.
It really is just positioning.
Okay.
One goes like this, one goes like this. I do find that the roof is usually a little bit stronger. Umbrella, I need to be moving off of it. Me personally, I need to be moving off of it in order for it to be successful. And it's more of like an, oh shit, I'm gonna try to like move this out of the way versus that being a full defense.
So if you did that same move, that umbrella, as I come over, it's oh crap, I'm coming down, and you swipe as you moving off angle. Yeah. Right. Versus your straight roof, if I come straight down,
I can come in and come forward.
Nice. Good. Okay. And then from there, do the follow-up. Because then from there, and then you hit and attack.
Wazzy!
Sweet. Well, again, I want to show people what you could do with this, right? So here, if I did this again, I would want to try to defend, but again, the limits. So either I'm going to be that fast where I'm thinking going right back with the same side, which it's a lot safer, or I'm so good with the other side that I come right up. So as I strike down,
and there's a few different things that I can do. I'm starting to do a little bit of like this crosata that I've been working with. There's obviously that roof. I could probably attack that attack.
Okay, so as I'm here, attack, boom, yeah. Nice, nice. Or do that again, let's see. Or I'd have to just really and see and try to start. The one thing that's also useful with this is that the flails are connected with chains usually, or whatever they're connected with. Some have rope or whatever, but these are basically used to trap as well. The whole idea with the 3-section staff is really, it was a long staff, it was broken into 3 parts. So it's still the effectiveness of a staff, but with these 2 pieces in the middle, or these 2 pieces that go alongside the middle flail, you can actually try and trap weapons with this. Would try to take this.
Try to trap this.
Right. Well, if I tried to trap it, coming from a strike, I try to like grab maybe one staff with the other, or that's really like, it would be something where say I would strike and let this go a little bit longer and say it doesn't hit you but kind of wraps.
Yeah.
And then the whole idea is I'm coming in.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So that whole idea. Because you're intentionally trying to misdirect a little, so I would strike a little bit past where the staff would normally hit. I wouldn't want to thinking of hitting towards where this metal piece is, so just move your head back a little bit, so I could do that kind of wrap. Yeah. And get to this point, and hopefully be able to disarm you. If I get this at an angle, then I've got at least here's my opening. I mean, here, or I come in with the other one while I've got you, I've got you like thinking about this other hand.
How do you operate real close? Because from here, I have
you got all this stuff in my face.
I have a little bit of stick grappling, not great at stick grappling, but a little bit of stick grappling.
So here's the deal. If you're in this corner, I've got to totally be real proficient in here, or I'm just gonna have to give up one side, meaning I'm just gonna have to go straight and collapse one, and then I'm just using this one side, using it more like one stick with a little bit of defense, or worst case, we get close.
I like
then
that
we
one.
Start,
I like that one.
Then we start tussling. So I'm going to collapse either one side, so it's one-sided, and I can use another for defense, or completely collapse the staff. And then here or here, whatever. Maybe I can use it more like like it's a longer weapon. thrusts and hits.
I mean, at that point, it might
Or
just
keep one hand open.
feel like a thick stick.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. When do you choose 2 sticks over 1?
Randomly.
Randomly, okay.
Honestly, it's good to have proficiency with both, because like when you have like the single stick, yes, that's the only thing you quote unquote have to worry about. But then you also have to worry about the hand as a weapon, the leg as a weapon, the hand as a weapon, the leg as a weapon,
Right.
like all these other factors, the hidden knife as a weapon. So I do something like called stick juggling. Essentially, it's switching from hand to hand. Using left hand, using right hand. I like this position. I've been playing with this a bit
because as I come in,
yeah, it does hide how long the stick is.
nice.
And then I can
then
come
it's
in
like,
with my right
whoa,
hand,
it's
or
like,
I can come in with my left.
Oh,
I
nice.
can come downward, down
That's
and up.
cool.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So that's like kind of the neat thing with single stick. With double, I mean, you have 2 things to worry about, 2 things to maintain. So,
But 2 different ways to strike.
yes.
So
I think I mentioned like the dexterity thing. So with double, you have, you know, the different chambers. I'm always harping about chambers, open, close, all the different like positions that you essentially start an attack or a strike from.
yeah.
That, I mean, there's only so many ways to start when you have single.
Right.
Double has a little bit more options, I think.
The advantage of like angling, which you do pretty well. So say I'm coming in and you do your umbrella move offline, right?
Oh, I didn't do umbrella at all.
You didn't do
Sorry.
umbrella that time, all right. But say you did your umbrella this side, and then you're right back on top here.
Yes.
Good. It's the same thing would be true. Like if you were to strike me with your staff, I'd want to move on the outside too, and then maybe I go back, or then maybe I can go low. The one advantage too with the 3 section is if I go for your leg, I don't necessarily have to hit with the whole flail. Maybe I can do the whole thing. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
And then not have to worry about my staff just dropping on the ground and giving it up, because I could still recoil it back to my own, my own hand. So things like that, playing with the range and all that, and using the advantage of having the attached flails. So it's like basically it's like two sticks that are like, as long as you hold one, that'll always be that you can always bring back to yourself. Versus if I get hit in the hand with single or double staff, that staff's on the ground, and now I got to either fumble for it or just leave it and keep fighting with one.
If I'm fighting somebody with the 3-section staff, a lot of what I have seen.
And by the way, real quick, have you fought someone with the 3-sectional staff?
Not in a formal gathering, but in training, yes.
Oh, cool.
With these, yeah.
Oh, sweet. All right.
So what I've seen a lot of is more of that like long range. So I get into like a long range style. Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of like swinging it around like this type stuff, you know.
All of this, all of this.
If I'm going stick against 3-section staff just like that.
As I'm swinging?
Yeah.
So as I'm trying to swing at you?
Yeah.
But then how do they control the recoil? They're just trying to, they're counting on the fact they can get it back and go in quick enough?
Kind of. And that, so for me, my job is to close that distance
Close the
as best
gap.
I can. When it's double, I have a little bit of an easier time of like, okay, maybe I'll catch that one, and come in, charging, running. My favorite thing, right?
Right.
Single, I'm gonna have to up the volume. So like it's more strikes to try to cover. And this is where the attack comes into play. I'm not thinking of I'm going to block, I'm going to just throw out there everything and hope something catches.
Right, until you can get in close to close the gap.
Exactly. So I don't know. I've also seen a lot of people do really good footwork at keeping people at bay, essentially. So like,
so like I'll mini swing it. Like I'm trying to mini swing, I'm here, I'm trying to come in and keep swinging at you, and you start moving in on me. Okay.
And for you, your job is to like be able to swing
and then move. So as you move here, I'm trying to swing and move, swing and move, swing and move while you're moving. Okay.
That's a lot of what I've seen.
That I could see, because then at least you still have but you're still, in that case, I would use this middle flail to still keep you at bay. I wouldn't use this whole thing, because this to me, it's harder, because again, it's the recoil game. It's like, where will it land? And once I swing wide, you're coming in, you got that half second to move around.
And that's the thing, I don't see a lot of people doing that mid-range game or that close game.
Yeah.
So I'd actually like to learn
this
some.
to me, and this to me is where I think you'd have more advantage. If you're a 3-section user, and by the way, if you're a 3-section user, you want positioning wise, one flail to be close to you, because again, it's more control. If I'm at least close here, as I swing it, oh, it pops, and then I can get it back to my other hand faster. And then keeping it in here is a lot more control than if I just swing it like this. Yeah, I can do that, but again, you've got more of an advantage to move in. If I keep this tight to myself, even if I hit as I hit and you hit me, good. Yeah, I still feel like I've got control and I can get back to this position faster. So there's an advantage. And there's tricks, there's things that we can do to kind of distract you a little bit, and then I come in to hit or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people's recoil game that I've seen, could be wrong, involves a lot of like pulling on it, kind of similar to like a regular staff. Everything is connected, where it's just like sliding up essentially.
Oh, so you're here and you're just saying,
Yeah.
I pull it back versus swinging it back to myself.
Yes.
Right, okay. The major con with this resection, like most people know, versus a regular staff is you have the unfortunate things that can happen when you hit yourself. Because if you're not in control, you can pop yourself with that. You can pop yourself with those, but you're a little less likely with these, because if you're not thinking and you hit the wrong angle or whatever, you can hit yourself. This happened to me a lot when I used to practice that, right, or whatever, or I'd hit and then would spring back and hit myself. Versus I got two sticks, it's a little more control, right? So as I'm here, that's why I'd stay in this side, this line. I like to at least have either one hand on or one hand in the middle. This I'd only use if someone was so much further out and try to bait them a little bit. That's just me. But again,
if I am charging in, would you switch games to something else?
If you're charging at me, yeah, I'd probably want to get closer then and start like choking up on the staff. I really would. Yeah, for lack of a better. Or get to two, where we're in now, and I can keep one out here, and then I can keep you away a little bit if I want to still, it's like medium range. But if you're charging in, I'm not going to stay here forever. I'm going to try to.
How easy is it to switch from each of the different positions?
Okay, so if you're saying like
from like long position to like medium position to like a shorter position.
It kind of depends. So it's like if I'm out here, it's not too hard, because again, just like you're saying, pull at the end, pull it to keep it at your waist, and you can grab one flail. If I'm out this long, if I do the, like you're saying, the people do at Dog Brothers, I guess if they pull, it might take a half a second longer. So if I'm going to do this, I'm thinking I'm good enough where I'm comfortable doing that quicker kind of pull to get the staff to my hand. I wouldn't rely on, oh crap, and then you're like, oh, as you're coming in, I feel like, okay, it's back to my hand. But you know, there's always variables. I do this and oh shit, I missed, and I'm still here. But as long as I can get to that middle ground, I'd still feel, or that middle flail, I'd still feel comfortable. So I never feel like, oh shit, I can't do anything. I get to this middle one. And then if you're at that point, if you're in so close that I can't do anything, then I'm gonna just choke up and then we just start fighting.
Oh, you got a little scared there,
right?
huh?
It's like, oh shit, what do I do, right? Because now you're here, you're that close. I'm like, oh crap. Now I just gotta either, you know, transition here or transition here and have one hand that I can start trying to move you back with or whatever. Yeah. All right guys, so there you go. A look at two different weapons from the martial arts, one the Filipino style, one Chinese martial arts, and seeing what they can do, what they can't do, and all that good stuff, the pros, the cons, and all that in between. So Sherlyn, tell me anything that when we were doing stuff today, anything you learned that was new or anything that you picked up? Or?
Oh, there's definitely some new chambers that I would want to play with 3-section. I kind of want to learn a little bit of that.
Sweet.
Definitely want to start thinking about like closing that distance with the 3-section, like getting in there. That was kind of scary, to be fair.
And vice versa, when I'm swinging and you're coming in, I'm like, oh crap, I gotta get the staff back so I don't get popped in the head. So that's definitely something I want to start playing with, like down the road. Do you want to let people know, like, if they can, if they want to reach out to you?
Yes, they want to reach out to me. No, tag me on Instagram.
Cool, and just come out and train with you guys, right? Like usually do like Friday nights in Burbank, fun parks. Cool. All right, cool. So I'll leave your info out here. Thanks again for doing this with me. Of course. This was a lot of fun. Please do like, comment, share, subscribe, because that's how we grow the channel. It really does help me out with this algorithm. I'm telling you, the grind is for real.
Oh yeah, it's real.
And if you guys like 3-section stabs, check out this video over here for some great tips on how to use the weapon. Guys, stay safe. See you on the next round. And of course, keep punching.
Look at that one. Look at this one. Look at that one. Look, are you kidding me?
Like, I'll mini swing it.
Yeah.
Once.
And I hit myself, trying to hit myself.